Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with a Fallout 76 discussion video. If you're a frequent viewer on the channel, you may notice this video in particular will be a little bit more laid back than other uploads. That's because I am up to my ears right now in the Outer Worlds. I'm working really hard to get the review and coverage done before the embargo lifts. So I wanted to make sure the channel, as always, is active every day. And I noticed that this topic was developing over the weekend. I wanted to offer my thoughts on it because in the original news update I covered, which was about the Wastelanders release date delay alongside private servers coming to Fallout 76, that was the focal point of my discussion because a lot of that had been centric in prior discussions. I wanted to save the monetization discussion for a later video, and on this quote rainy day for news end quote, I thought it would be perfect to bring out today. So let's get into some of the changes for the Atomic Shop. Like I said, all this information, as you can see on screen right now, did come from the latest Bethesda net post about Wastelanders, what's changing. And in this post they noted that the Atomic Shop would take a turn for more utility based items. Now they're still working on previously announced items and new cosmetic categories, so that's not going away, but Bethesda essentially in this article is justifying their choice of going with repair kits, scrap kits, collectron stations, working refrigerators, and expanding upon that because they're seeing people enjoy items with real utility. They don't provide any numbers, mind you, in this post, but they say that they have seen the data and that people prefer items with real utility. I find it plausible, right? Because if you're going to spend your money, you may as well spend it on something that will benefit your gameplay, not just looking cool. Because a lot of the armor that you can just loot in general or get from events in Fallout 76 does look good, does look cool. So if you're going to end up spending money in game and you are one of those people who does play 76 consistently, God bless your soul, then these utility items may actually be the good place for you to put your money into it because it keeps you from returning to your base, it preserves food, it makes surviving easier. And my frustration with this change does not lie in the area of rage and anger that a lot of people on YouTube and Twitter have really displayed at Bethesda. I think that time is really past. It's not this raw anger anymore. I really can't act like I'm super mad about this. It's more along the sides of pure raw disappointment. Disappointment so much that I honestly glazed over this in my full update because I'm like, what's new? It's Bethesda, right? Like they've been doing this for a while, but it does deserve its own discussion. And the reason my disappointment is here is because after rereading it, I thought to myself, you know, I didn't see Bethesda try any other community-focused suggestions that people had said, like adjusting the Atomic Shop pricing, creating challenges that were attainable, that offered more atoms, allowing us to get ingrained with the Atomic Shop, making it a key component to the game and not just a shop to steal our money. See, because at the end of the day, the cosmetic items available in the Fallout 76 Atomic Shop are actually mostly, not all, but mostly really cool looking. Stuff that I would like my character to have, stuff I would like to loot or have for myself. Of course, though, it is very pricey. And I understand Bethesda's a business, and underneath all of this is just a pure business decision. They know that people are going to buy stuff with utility now that they're sort of stripping away the confines of cosmetic only and going more into utility. They will start to wall off, I'm sure, certain mechanics, stuff that will make your experience a lot easier, and 76 could hurt a lot for that. At least on the player side of things, because on Bethesda's side, more people may be interested in buying it, right? I mean, it's not rocket science. I don't really have to spell it out for anybody, but ultimately I'm just upset that they were willing to list feedback without data on how people were buying utility items, but we didn't really see them experiment outside that with new challenges, rewarding the player more, seeing if increasing the amount of atoms that's given to them would actually allow people to get in the store more, and then they'd end up spending more. I think a lot of companies get so nervous about getting their dollar that they often forget that a good way to get someone's money is by treating them like a human, not shaking them down like a money tree, ringing them for every dollar and penny they've got on them. That's not what it's about. That's not how you conduct at least a good business. You can make money that way, but do you build good faith with your consumer? Do you build a relationship with your consumer? Do you understand the person playing your game? Clearly not, right? And that's where greed, and I know that's a word that's very easily slung around the YouTube sphere, but I got to use it here because that's how it damages companies. You're Bethesda. You own one of the most popular role-playing IPs out there. You certainly certainly will have no issue making money off this IP. But imagine if you tackled this with some good faith and pretty much just stripped away that paragraph of justifying all of the utility items you plan on adding into Fallout 76. Otherwise, I think the changes to the Atomic Shop are going to be better. In all fairness though, Bethesda did say that they are changing their approach to how many atoms you can earn through challenges and the types of items that you can unlock in said Atomic Shop. So they are adjusting the reward loop for these atoms, which means that I don't feel necessarily super comfortable jumping the gun wholeheartedly and saying Bethesda's gonna rip us off, because this isn't a perfect world. But what if these challenges end up rewarding us with just the right amount of atoms, where it encourages us to play, it encourages us to quest? They're not these unfeasible, unattainable challenges that have really plagued, I feel, the life of this game, but something that is truly reworked and truly fun to engage in and does give us the atoms we need to get involved in the store and maybe each week pick up a new item. Imagine if Bethesda put out the weekly challenges, but when you complete all the weekly challenges, you get what's called an Atomic Shop ticket. You can cash that ticket in and you can collect one free item from the Atomic Shop. I think that would be really good, really balanced, encourage you to play, and I feel it would benefit Bethesda by getting people in the door, and maybe they would spend their money because they're actually getting something from the game. However, before I continue on that spiel, I just want to stop for a brief second and make sure people know I'm not just vying for Bethesda's good business. It's really no skin off my nose whether they succeed or fail. Just I know there's a way to find a happy medium between the consumer and the business owners, right? Because ultimately video games are a business. While they are beautiful and fun and art, they are indeed driven as a business. Their design is to sell copies, make money, and now with the way the industry's developed, where we have these online games, monetization is a big component of making money after the game has already launched. It's propelled our industry in a lot of ways, but it's also hurt our industry in a lot of ways. I also don't live in that headspace of imagining a company taking a loss constantly for their consumer, right? I think that the consumer should be the number one priority. We should be treated the best because they want us to spend money on their product, but I know that just because 76 is a very bad game, in my opinion, even in its current state, doesn't mean that I can sit here and expect Bethesda to say, okay, let's make no money off of this and try to make zero moves. Obviously, they're going to try to get blood out of a stone here. They're going to try to make anything they can from this game before it gets shut down. Obviously, Wastelanders is that last-ditch effort. It either will make or break the life of that game. I'm sure some people will still stick around because people stuck around after the launch of Fallout 76, and I think that's when it was at its absolute worst. Still, though, I had to clarify, and now let's get back to that original point. I know that's in a perfect world, and that's where we loop back to that good faith being built. People would be more trusting in what Bethesda said in that first couple of paragraphs about how they are changing the atoms and the challenges if they didn't have to justify the utility items. So now what people are seeing is, oh, you're going to give us more atoms, but you're probably going to increase the prices in the Atomic Shop, and you're going to give us more pay-to-win utility items. Now, I know the term pay-to-win for Fallout 76 is very divisive as someone who's pretty invested in the Bethesda community. I know some people are like, it's just repair kits, it's just scrap kits, it really doesn't change the flow of the game. But some people truly believe that if it augments the gameplay at all and you can pay for it, that is pay for win. For me personally, something like a scrap kit, it's free fast travel to go back to your camp, and when you go there you can scrap everything. There are so many workbenches around the entire wasteland that are available for you to scrap. You don't even have to sometimes go back to the camp. I think if anything is pay to win, it's probably the Collectron station, which is a little bot that will circle around your camp area and collect up to 10 pounds of junk or scrap for you, meaning while you're out in the open world getting junk and scrap, which is the main gameplay loop right now of Fallout 76, you can have a microtransaction doing that for you as well. So if you ask me, that's the one that's the most impactful out of anything else in this game. But ultimately, I'm not mad. I am just very disappointed in how this is developed, because it's always that one step forward, two steps back, because Bethesda's saying that this is one of the most requested features. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's the thing. It's not. Like, Bethesda, don't lie to us. If at least have the decency to tell it how it is. Just say, we think this is best for the game, because that's what you think, right? And I don't even mean in terms of gameplay. It's best for the game in your vision because you guys make more money off this. At least you can paint it that way. But to try to tell us that we're the ones asking for it, that we're the ones who have been begging for this, more utility items, Bethesda, please rig my game with microtransactions. No one's saying that. No one's saying that. The second you see a company start speaking on your behalf without any statistics present is the second there's a real issue. That's all I'm saying. I would love to see the sales charts for the Atomic Shop and see just how many people are investing in utility items versus cosmetics. I'm sure the split isn't that gigantic, although I would understand why more people are buying utility items, but Bethesda's acting like there's such a ginormous gap there. Anyway, I've gone on long enough, a bit of a rambly video. I do apologize for what I'd say is a lower quality discussion. Normally I have a bunch of bullet points added up, but for me personally, I just currently do not have the time today, and I thought this is a topic that you could sort of shoot the breeze on, and you guys could fire away with your thoughts in the comments down below. So what do you think of the Atomic Shop in Fallout 76 and all the changes that are coming? Is Bethesda slipping once more? Are we looking too deep? Is the YouTube game reacting a little too hard? Let me know. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.